Hello, John. What a surprise.
Well, hi, Mary.
Where are you going to?
Oh, just a quick hop to Dennis Island, and then to Mayhe.
Can I come with you? If there is some space.
Absolutely. My pleasure, and you are going to fly the plane as well if you feel up to it. I have some paperwork to catch up on.
I only have 5 hours total flying time. You will need to watch me closely.
That is something I always do, even when not flying.
You silly old man.
Take the left-hand seat, and I will walk you through all what is essential with this exceptional turbocharged Beechcraft Baron. It is all rather similar to the basic Baron, except for power settings. You'll enjoy the power and accelerations. As we taxi out, just set the flaps to 15 degrees and set the trim for takeoff.
Where is the trim?
It is electric, on the left of the steering wheel, where your left thumb is.
Ah, okay.
Before we enter onto the runway, I will check the magnetos at 1500 RPM and do the fuel tank checks, as well as all other instrument settings. Now, you may then upon the runway, and when you are ready you will slowly throttle up to 35 inches manifold, and check the oil pressures. As you do, let the brakes go, and maintain center line. Rotate very slowly, as we pass 90 knots, and you may get airborne only after reaching 100 knots, where the blue line is. The blue line is minimum single-engine safety speed. Oh, never fly below it until you no longer need engine power when on landing flare out. After getting airborne, let the plane increase to about 140 knots as you maintain a gentle but positive climb. And I will tell you when to bring the undercarriage up. Very nice. So now, gear up.
I am not sulking. I do not need to cheer up.
I said undercarriage up, bring the wheels up.
Ah, okay.
Make sure you maintain 140 km airspeed, and bring the power down to 25 inches, and propeller RPM to 2500. You may now set the autopilot to maintain 2,000 feet and heading to 030 degrees. Now listen to this very closely. This is the secret to a great approach and landing every time. And I will prove it to you. Speed is controlled with the trim, and altitude is controlled with the power.
But with my car I control speed with my throttle.
That is exactly what differentiates flying from driving. When you fly you are three-dimensional, and only two-dimensional when you drive your car. To make this totally evident, we will set up the plane in full landing configurations, and trim the speed to between 100 and 110 knots. Okay.
Okay, you have control. Show me.
Now, as you see, we are presently in full landing configuration. Gear is down, we have full flaps and the speed is more or less 105 km.
Yes, my parachute is all set.
Power is at 25 inches. Now I only need to increase power to 30 inches and the plane will settle at 500 feet per minute climb. I will not touch the trim or anything else.
I am watching. And I also just found my airbag under the seat, but I forgot my snorkel.
I have great mouth-to-mouth resuscitation capacities.
That will not be called for.
As you can see, we are now climbing as foreseen at approximately 500 feet per minute, and the trim did not move, and therefore the speed did not move either.
That is really cool.
So if we set power to approximately 20 inches, we will descend at 500 feet per minute, and the speed is still maintaining 105 km.
So this means that on approach 1 simply needs to power up a little if we are too low, and to power down a little if we are too high.
Yes, and only 1 or 2 inches does the trick.
I will try that on the approach, if I may.
Of course you may, you have control. Turn left to a heading of 310 degrees, and set yourself to full landing configuration, and reduce power to 20 inches to start off with.
Give me just a second to set it all up.
You are on a good approach path. This is perfect. Maintain your present power. Every pilot practices this until he has it perfectly under control. Later on, he will step reduce the speed, but always according to this same basic principle. And this is the basic principle by which all pilots hand fly an ILS in any weather and with any plane. You may now reduce power and start to flare out.
That made it so very easy.
A good approach is always your guarantee for a good landing. I now need to pick up some stuff from my house. May I invite you for a late brunch? I believe that I do have some eggs and maybe more in the fridge.
I will enjoy teaching you how to cook. Just basics, of course.